Hello there, Aero here, and welcome to 6 rejected toys in real life. I thought it would be fun to do a little bit of a deep dive into the rejected toy aisle and find out a little bit about the real world counterparts that maybe inspired some of these rejected toys. I can confirm some of them are super duper creepy and some of them definitely deserve to be rejected. So let's just jump straight into this thing. At number 1 we have Owen the goddamn oven. Now Owen is an orange oven with 2 googly eyes and a black handle that looks like a monobrow. And for some reason he's got a meme written on the back, you know, the of in of out one, and clearly based on his use and appearance, he's a reference to the Hasbro Easy Bake Oven. But things get a little bit darker when you look at the rejection reason. On its rejection form, you can see that it states multiple cases of children receiving 3rd-degree burns. And when we look into the Hasbro Easy Bake Oven, it's got a bit of a dark past as well. After the release of a new model in 2006, Hasbro received 29 reports of children getting their hands or fingers caught in the front loading door. This resulted in 5 reports of burns. But that was just the beginning. In the following year, they received 249 more reports of incidents, including 77 burns, 16 of which were 2nd or 3rd degree burns. But they finally pulled the pin on the Easy Bake Oven in 2007 when they learned of a girl having to have her finger amputated because of severe burns. The eventual recall affected about 1 million Easy Bake Ovens. Now do you understand why Owen the Oven had to be rejected? But in saying that, I still think he's a pretty good concept for an antagonist. Imagine him trapping you inside and burning you alive. Okay, on to rejected toy number 2, the Pet Rock. The Pet Rock is literally a rock with googly eyes on it, and that's it. Its rejected notice? It reflects the same thoughts. It's just a rock. It's a dumb idea. But guess what? The imaginary scientists that work in Playtime Co. are smarter than people in the real world because the Pet Rock got further in the real world. The real Pet Rock idea, invented by Gary Dahl in 1975, was a fad that lasted for just under a year. But in that year, Gary sold 1 million rocks for $4 each. And yes, he became a millionaire. And where are those rocks from? A beach in Mexico. It blew up over the Christmas period and became a bit of a meme. But once the meme started to die down, people stopped buying the rock because it was just a damn rock. And that resulted in the rock not being... Sorry, I can't even say this part without laughing, but the rock ended up being discontinued. It's a rock! The idea came from a conversation he was having with a couple of his friends where they were complaining about the upkeep of having a real pet, like feeding them and cleaning up after them. So Gary said, I don't need to worry about that because I have a pet rock. And he turned that joke into a business idea that made him a millionaire. Anyway, enough about him. On to rejected toy number 3, Sir Poops-a-Lot. Now, Sir Poops-a-Lot is a brown bear with a zen-looking face, a suit and top hat. He's also holding a cane, and he's seen on a toilet, implying that that's right, he's pooping. And on the back of his box, there are a bunch of poop puns. And the reason for his rejection? Extremely negative reception from various focus groups. But guess what the focus groups in real life said? They love the idea of pooping toys. The closest real life counterpart I could find to this toy was Little Live Pet's Gotta Go Turtle, which presents us with Shelbert the turtle, a turtle sitting on a toilet. And that's right, laying turds. Oh, but don't worry, Shelbert likes to sing and dance and eat as well. And then you've got the fur real Hasbro Poop-a-Lots, which are basically just poodles that poop when you walk them. Amazing idea, right? But I've got to say my favorite in this whole pooping genre of toys has got to be the Baby Alive doll. There's just something so disturbing about how you feed them Play-Doh and then unhinge them from the back so that the Play-Doh can fall out in the form of poop. I'm not sure what lesson it's teaching kids, but that's not how it works. It's just a gimmick. And just a side point, have you seen how scary the old Baby Alive commercials are? I mean, besides the point of them just being creepy in nature because of how old they look, there's something extremely disturbing about their face. Look at how it moves in the ad. This is the type of thing that'll haunt you in the middle of the night. Now on to rejected toy number 4, Barrel-O Huggies. Now this one's a pretty easy one. I think everyone knows or has seen Barrel of Monkeys. It's been a toy that's lasted for a very long time, but the reason for rejection is because of a choking hazard. Apparently children tried to eat from the barrel thinking it was candy. I just love the play on Huggy Wuggies and their different forms like the Wacka Wuggies and Huggy Wuggy himself, but I don't see how they would be cute enough to eat. Come on. Now in all of my research I wasn't able to find any form of rejection, recall, or banning, but definitely because of the size of the toy there's a warning about choking. To be honest, that's about it. On to the next one. So number Number 5. Daisy. Now we know Daisy isn't actually a rejected toy, but it's mentioned that her marionette form is a rejected toy. Now we know what Daisy looks like. She's a daisy flower with scary human eyes, a stick figure body, and leaves for hands. We get a little bit of a glimpse of her marionette form in the early Chapter 2 trailer. That's when we see her instead of Bunzo the bunny in Musical Memory. Now there are a couple of creepy things to consider when thinking about a marionette toy. Then you can look at olden days traditional marionette puppets. Their bodies had to be skinny and slender so that they can be held up by the puppeteer, but then that results in a kinda creepy, unnatural movement. Unsurprisingly, this can be quite scary to look at. Hence the rejection notice stating that children couldn't help themselves from crying during the test audiences for Daisy's marionette form performance. Okay, now at number 6, we've got Poppy. I know what you're thinking, she's not a rejected toy, but I just had to put her in here because during my research, I found a creepy toy that I believe is her Japanese counterpart, and I couldn't help but putting her in this video because I really wanted to talk through the story of Okiku. The year was 1918, and a 17-year-old boy wanted to buy his little sister a gift. In Hokkaido, Japan, it was common to buy dolls. In this case, a 3-foot doll, which ended up being named Okiku after his little sister. Unfortunately, a year later, Okiku died from a fever, but because the family knew how much Okiku originally liked the doll, they kept it around. But that's when creepy stuff started to happen. The main thing in particular was its hair. It started to grow, and it was believed to be human hair. That's when it was determined that the soul of Okiku was now in Okiku the doll. It was bittersweet for the family because they knew their dead daughter's soul was still around, but still a little bit creepy. They ended up forfeiting the doll to the local priest, who now puts it in a shrine and cuts the hair yearly. It's believed that the hair is still growing today. Now, if we take a step back and look at the porcelain face of the doll, the size of the doll, and the fact that there's a dead child's soul inside of the doll, keeping it alive, it kinda sounds like Poppy to me. But for some reason, there's just something so unsettling about Okiku. It's probably just because it's actually real and not a game like Poppy Playtime, but I thought the connections were too strong not to talk about it. Now, there are some people that try to myth bust Okiku and say that her hair is only growing because of the silk hair that the doll originally has is slowly starting to unfold. But I don't know, 1918 to 2022 and it's still growing? Kinda sounds like a soul of a dead child to me. Okay, but that's all folks, that's all we've got for today. If you enjoyed those 6 stories, leave a like, subscribe, and comment. But I highly encourage you to join just for the ride anyway. We'll keep jumping into these scary stories, scary games, and go through it together. But that's it for now, bye bye.